David. See people who have braved the weather and come to shul, and welcome to all those watching online from all over the world. This evening we will start the service on page 118. The candles will be lit for us by Fiona Capstick.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
If that doesn't work, we've got this.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Please be seated. And just before we begin, as sort of almost as a custom with me, I get sent these little WhatsApp messages for Shabbos. So this one reads, Parashat Devarim. Here we read Moses' last message to the people, which begins recapping the lessons and experiences of the past 40 years since the exodus from Egypt. It is noteworthy that the first episode Moses recounts is not any of the great miracles described in the Torah, but rather the appointment of judges and community leaders who are wise and understanding and who will not favor persons in judgment, but hear the small just as the great. We achieve closeness to the divine, not by focusing on what is supernatural and otherworldly, but by building a society based on wisdom, justice, and equality. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue now with the service on page 130 at the top, and the choir will lead us with Lechuna Ranana. To continue reading in Hebrew from the second paragraph. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim, asher bayado mechkarei aretz v'toafot harim lo, asher lo hayam v'hu asahu v'yabeshet yadav yatsaru, u'u nishtachave v'nichra'a nivracha lifnei Adonai osenu, ki hu Eloheinu v'anachnu am marito v'tzon yado hayom im b'kolo tishma'u. We continue page 132, and I'm going to read at the top. Sing to God a new song. Sing to God all the earth. Sing to God, bless God's name. Proclaim God's victory day after day. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples. For the Eternal One is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the gods of the people are mere idols, but the Eternal One made the heavens. Glory and majesty are before God. Strength and splendor are in God's temple. And please read with me the indented section. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples in faithfulness. Page 134, and I'm going to read the English. Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. Sing praise to God with the lyre and melodious song. With trumpets and the blast of the horn, raise a shout before God the ruler. Let the sea and all within it thunder, the world and its inhabitants. Let the rivers clap their hands, the mountains sing joyously together at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its peoples with equity. Page 135 at the top. Adonai Malach Yegzu Amim, Yeshev Kruvim Tanut Haaretz, Adonai B'Tzion Gadol, V'ramhu al Kol Ha'amim, Yodu Shimcha Gadol V'Nora, Kadosh Hu. Mighty ruler who loves justice, it was you who established equity, you who worked righteous judgment in Jacob. Exalt the eternal our God and bow down to God's footstool. God is holy. Psalm 29 on page 136. Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, hishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai b'koach, kol Adonai b'hadar, kol Adonai shoveh arazim, v'yashaber Adonai et hazeh halvanon, v'yakidem kamo egel levanon v'sirion, kamo ven ra'emim. The voice of the Eternal One kindles flames of fire. The voice of God convulses the wilderness. The Eternal One convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of God causes hinds to calve and strips forests bare, while in God's temple all say, Glory. The Eternal One sat enthroned at the flood. The Eternal One sits enthroned, sovereign forever. Adonai oz le'amo yiten. May God grant strength to our people. Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God grant our people peace. And we come now to greet the Sabbath bride, page 138, Lecha Dodi.
Adonai echad, u'shmo
just as we have greeted the Sabbath bride, let's take a few moments just to greet each other. Mitzmo shir layom ha-Shabbat, tov lahodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lahagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon b'chinur. Ki simchatani Adonai b'fo'alecha, v'ma'aseh yadecha aronein. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, ma'odam ku machshavotecha. Ish ba'a lo yeda, Uchsil lo yavin et zot.
Shetoli
Lavesh Adonai oz hitazar, aftikon tevel bal timot, nachon kisacha ma'az, me'olam ata. Nasuna rot Adonai, nasuna rot kolam, yesuna rot dochyam, mikalot mayim rabim, adirim mishbereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, edotechenem nu ma'od, levetcha nava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. And please rise if you're able to, because we're coming to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
Amen. Pagala ubizman karif veimeru. Amen. Yesh meraba mevorach leolam ulal me'almaya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpah v'yitromam v'yitnasi
Tushbachata v'nechemata tamiran me'alma. Amen.
Please be seated. I'll continue at the top of page 148, and then I'm going to jump to the top of page 149. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma potech she'arim. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha ahavta. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life and the length of our days. Never remove your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And we come now to the Shema, page 152. If you're able to, please rise. Page 154, please read the English with me. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. In Hebrew, page 155 at the top. V'yomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el b'nei Yisrael, v'amata alehem, v'asu lahem tzitzit al kanfei vigdehem ladorotam. V'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf patil techelet, v'haya lachem letzitzit oritem oto. Uzkatem et kol mitzvot Adonai, vasitem otam. V'lo taturu acharei levavchem ve'acharei enechem, asher atem zonim achareihem. Leman tizkaru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. Please be seated. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Mi kamocha b'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef eleh, Nora tehilot osef eleh. Adonai Imloch, Adonai Imloch, Leolam Vaed.
V'ne'emar, thus it is said, God redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. 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 Ushmo tzitenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael, va'al Yerushalayim. Page 162 at the top. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We come now to the Amidah, page 164. If you're able to rise, please do so.
Adonai, Sephartai Tifta, Ufi Agid, Tehilatecha,
וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת Sarah.
Page 168 at the top. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, mechayeh hakol ata rav lehoshia, mashiv haruach umarid hageshem, mazriach hashemesh umarid hatal, mechokel chayim bechesed, mechayeh hakol barachamim rabim, somech noflim barofech olim umatir asurim, umkayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha ba'al gevurot umidom elach, melech memit umchaye umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol, baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Continue, page 171 at the top. Days pass, and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, "How filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it." Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Page 172 at the top. Atah kidashte et yom hashvi'i lishmecha, tachlit ma'aseh shamayim va'aretz, uverachto mikol hayamim v'kidashto mikol hazmanim, v'chen katuv b'toratecha. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and ceased on the seventh day from all the work that had been done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it God ceased from making all the work of creation.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu, ritzei v'imnochatenu, kacheinu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten chelkeinu b'toratecha, zabeinu mitovecha, samcheinu b'yeshuatecha, v'tayeh libenu le'ovdecha be'emet. Anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava uvratzon, Shabbat kodshecha ve'anocho va'Yisrael mekadeshei shemecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Amen.
Page 174 at the top. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amcha Yisrael utfilatam ba'ava tekabel utila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. El karov lechol korav pnei el avadecha v'chonenu shvoch ruchacha aleinu v'techezena einenu v'shuvcha leTzion barachamim. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shchinato leTzion. Page 176 at the top. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu leolam va'ed. let us thank you and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your care, and for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you.
ועל כולם, ועל כולם, יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. יודו חסרה ויעלו באמת האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו, עזרתנו, סלע. ועל כולם, ועל כולם, יתברך ויתרומם, יתברך ויתרומם, שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. And I'm jumping to page 179 at the bottom. And this is a really important notion. You know, in this war-filled world, we have this wonderful prayer for peace. But I'm not going to read the traditional one. I'm reading, as I say, page 179. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and make musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. And please be seated. We'll take a few moments for our own silent meditations. As I mentioned at the beginning of this service, we are at Parashat Devarim Chazon, and that's Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1 to chapter 3, verse 22. In Judaism, we have a great deal of counting. We count days, weeks, the phases of the moon, and so forth. But in the Torah, we also have a great deal of recounting. And this is what happens at the beginning of the book of Deuteronomy. Here, Moses reviews the events that occurred and the laws that were given in the course of the Israelites' 40-year journey from Egypt to Sinai to the Promised Land. He rebukes the people for their failings and iniquities and urges them to keep the Torah and observe its commandments. He recalls the appointment of judges, the sending out of the spies, and the various interactions with surrounding nations. But why are we given all this detail about the past? Well, looking at Moses' oration more closely, we realize this isn't about the past at all. It's about the future. For what Moses is giving is a vision. Modern psychology repeatedly exhorts us as individuals to have a vision for our lives and our pursuits. Creating a vision of the future is a process that begins with identifying what's most important to you. And most importantly, it means recognizing that the here and now isn't all that there is, since living perpetually in the now can be stale and meaningless. In Deuteronomy chapter 1, verses 6 to 8, even God has had enough of the now. The text reads, "The eternal our God spoke to us at Horeb, saying, 'You have stayed long enough at this mountain. Start out and make your way. See, I place the land at your disposal. Go, take possession of the land.'" This week's Parsha, therefore, is about seeing ahead. It's a time for dreaming big dreams, for making things happen. It's about vision. Vision is a powerful force for making sense of the past. In other words, past occurrences are transformed from being a random sequence of events into something that's cohesive and profoundly meaningful. Regarding the Jewish people's past from biblical times until now, there's obviously a lot to consider. To take one specific example, nearly 2,000 years ago, the Second Temple was destroyed by the Romans. Every year on Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, we remember this destruction and simultaneously recognize the pain of our own times. And as you may be aware, the Shabbat preceding Tisha B'Av is always observed as a Shabbat of vision. The Shabbat's reading from the prophets begins with the words Chazon Yeshayahu and reads, "The vision of Isaiah, son of Amos, that he beheld concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the reigns of Uzziah, Jotam, Achaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah." Well, that's certainly one very powerful vision. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, who was a legendary 18th century Hasidic master, taught a deeper reason for the appellation Shabbat of vision. Every year, he explained, on the Shabbat before our collective day of mourning, God shows us a vision of the future in which we are a reconstituted people in a better world. And of course, if only he'd known that in a couple of centuries there would be a Jewish state with its national anthem called Hatikva, the hope. The notion of hope in Judaism is beautifully articulated by the late Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. He says, "The Jews gave to the world the idea of time as a narrative of hope, which meant that what is lost can be regained, what is destroyed can be rebuilt, and what disappears may one day return. Our prophets were able to see beyond the horizon of history, so that where everyone else saw doom, they also saw the hope that lay just over the horizon. And I'd like to jump from prophets and larger picture to us individuals. And I suggest that to hope is being brave enough to dream. And I'd like to end with a poem dedicated to each and every one of you, and it's entitled The Size of Dreams. It's most elusive at a particular time of night, between the last chores of the evening and the hour for sleep. It is the time when floors are sprinkled with shadows in black and white, the way age settles into one's hair. This is the time when bravery opens her arms and lets you in. You have entered a place of water dripping on stone, the sound of a rake working yesterday's gravel. You wish for the world to slow down so that you can get off and greet the strangers in the street and ask them your questions. You long to snap open their hearts and touch their secretive muscles. You hope they'll grow bigger, your longings, your questions. You want to dissect whatever leads you to bravery, perhaps in the smallest of dreams. And then you want bigger dreams than that. Shabbat Shalom. And we will continue with the Aleinu, which you will find on page 586. And we've got an ark opener as Helen Kaplan and ark closer Stephen Kaplan. Page 586. We continue, page 595. The choir will sing Yesh Kochavim.
יש כוכבים של רמה הגיעה ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו ונם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אלה המבריקים בחשכת הליל, הם שמראים להטם את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמראים להטם את הדרך, את הדרך. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, as we live our days. These are the ways we remember, we remember, we remember, we remember.
We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died of the season in years past, and those whom we've drawn into our hearts with our own. And this Shabbat we remember Jessica Grace Wells, mother of Fiona Capstick, Joseph Poe, father of John Paul, Frida Becker, mother of Lydia Kruger, Charles Jankelo, father of Merle Gates, David Norris, father of Mike Norris, Jody Sher, husband of Pam and father of Robin and Lee Sher, Philip Suku, father of Brad Suku, Max and Doris Cooper, parents of Merle Abrams, Verna Freeman, daughter of Merle Abrams, Arlene Jolson, wife of Harold Jolson and sister-in-law of Danny Jolson, David Mann, father of Ian Mann, Lavelle Bursky, mother of Rudy Bursky, and Elias William Kaplan, father of Stephen Kaplan. From Bet Menorah and Pretoria, we remember Joseph Zelkind Leaf, grandfather of Giddy Leaf, Benjamin Karpus, father of Sandra Wurms, Mavis Sles, mother of Gail Grunbaum. Note that the unveiling of the tombstone for the late Carol Alexander will take place on Sunday at 11 o'clock at West Park Cemetery. The link to the live stream can be found on the Chevra Kadisha website. We also remember those who passed away recently, Jackie from London, who's a friend of Sandy Paul, and Beverly Siegel, mother of Greg Siegel. And if anybody has a name to call out that isn't on the list, please do so now. I'm going to start at this side. We also remember those who lost their lives in wars and those who have no one to remember them. And the Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bilma divrach ruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yahei Shmei Rabbah Muvorach le'olam ulolmei umaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithada v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudsha B'rechu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'oma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say amen. Please be seated, and we'll have a few words of greeting from our chairman, Ian Mann.
Shabbat shalom to you all, and commend you on braving the weather, being here with us. A couple of announcements. The Cheder will be starting on Shabbat the 29th of July, not tomorrow morning as we originally advertised. We are this weekend. There's a South African Union of Progressive Jews National Assembly, and it's taking place on Sunday morning on Zoom at 9 a.m. Everybody's welcome to attend, and the theme is, do you want to grow your community? And there's a very interesting lecturer who's going to be giving a slide presentation, American, who's written a very interesting book on how to build a real community, as opposed to a place where people just go to a real community. So I'm looking forward to hearing him. I suggest you do that too. And Rabbi Sergio Bergman, who's president of the World Union of Progressive Jews, will also join the conference. And if you need any other details, please have a look at the Adkan. You'll find details over there. We're going to conclude. Just to remind you, we're going to be starting our course on the history of Jewish philosophy. The details of that in the Adkan, and the way the course will work is that you'll be sent. Those people who enroll will all be sent once a month a lecture on the first philosopher we're going to be looking at. It's about a 45-minute lecture, and then we'll get together on the Shabbat morning and we'll discuss exactly what we've come across in that. And then there's actually 24 in the whole series, but we're just focusing on the first 3, which we're going to be having this winter. More information about that in the Adkan. And the Yigdal ends our service on page 628, and we'd like you all to please join us afterwards for Kiddush.
יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא והנהת אל מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, נורא ארוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אלא נשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעם אוהל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחל לפאר ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרשעתו, ישלח לקץ ימים על כל בשר רוחו, לפדות מחכה קץ ישועתו. חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו. חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו. Tov.
Thank you, choir. Thank you, musicians. Thank you, technical desk. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Please meet us at the back.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.